Okay, so have you ever, imagined a fog so thick you can't even see your hand in front of you?
Can't say I have. I'm not a fan of fog as it is.
Well, try to picture this, all right? It's London, December 1952. And this fog, it's not just any fog.
I'm intrigued.
It's so dense, it just swallows the entire city, for 5 days straight. They called it the Great Smog.
The Great Smog. 5 days. Wow. I mean, I've heard of London fog, but this is another level.
Right. And the crazy thing is, we know what caused it, the smog, but
Yeah.
there's still so much we're learning about how bad it really was, the impact and all.
Yeah, it's like these events, they leave their mark for years, even decades, right?
Absolutely. So let's dive into this. December 1952. It's freezing, right? Like bone-chilling cold. And how did people stay warm back then?
Coal. Tons and tons of coal. They burned it everywhere to keep their homes heated.
That makes sense. But hold on. I remember reading that London's location, the city itself, played a part too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Big time. You see, London is situated in a valley.
Kind of like a bowl?
Exactly, like a big bowl. And that makes it, perfect for trapping all sorts of nasty stuff in the air.
Oh, so all that coal smoke just gets stuck.
You got it. And to make things worse, there was this weather system, an anticyclone, right over the city during those 5 days.
What's an anticyclone? Sounds intense.
Basically, imagine it like a massive, heavy lid pushing down on the city, trapping the cold air, and you guessed it, all that coal smoke near the ground.
Oh, wow. So you have this freezing city, everyone burning coal, and then this weather lid comes and slams down, trapping all the smoke. I bet it was terrifying to be there.
It was chaos. Imagine a thick yellow smog so dense you can barely see a few feet in front of you. I read accounts, people crawling on their hands and knees using ropes to find their way around.
Oh, my God.
Public transport completely shut down. I mean, can you imagine London, a city that's always on the move, suddenly at a standstill?
It's almost like something out of a movie or a dystopian novel.
Yeah, really. Schools closed down, businesses too. Everyone's stuck inside, struggling to breathe. It was a full-blown health crisis.
And within days, there were already 4,000 deaths recorded, just from breathing problems.
Yeah, and the scary thing is, modern research suggests the real number might be even higher.
Higher? How much higher are we talking?
Some estimates put it closer to 12,000. It's a grim reminder of how dangerous air pollution can be, how we might not even grasp the full scale of its impact until much later.
So 12,000 people potentially dying from this smog. It's unbelievable. What did the government do? Surely they had to take action.
Well, initially, their response was slow.
Slow? You mean they weren't taking it seriously?
They kind of downplayed the whole thing, They acted like it was just another regular London fog, nothing to worry about.
Oh, wow. They must have faced serious backlash from the public.
Absolutely. People were outraged, and rightly so. They demanded action. And this outrage, this demand for change, it became a turning point.
Interesting. So this horrible tragedy, the Great Smog, it actually sparked some positive change.
It did. It became a wake-up call. It forced scientists to really dig deep and understand the link between burning all those fossil fuels and the respiratory problems people were experiencing.
And they found something.
Oh, yeah. They made some real breakthroughs, pinpointing how those tiny particles in the smog were causing damage to people's lungs.
That's incredible. So the public outcry, plus this new scientific evidence,
Yeah.
it kind of pushed things forward.
It did, and it led to the Clean Air Act of 1956.
I've heard of that. It was a big deal, wasn't it?
It was a game changer. The act restricted coal burning in certain areas, encouraged people to switch to cleaner fuels, and introduced those smoke control zones you still see in cities today. It was a big shift in how we thought about environmental policy.
And it wasn't just in Britain, right? This had a global impact.
Absolutely. You can see the influence of the Clean Air Act in environmental policies all over the world. It really was a turning point in how we approach clean air.
It makes you think, what if something like the Great Smog happened today, like in a modern city?
Well, we've come a long way in understanding air pollution and its effects.
Yeah, but we still see air quality warnings, smog alerts in cities around the world.
True, and that's why the Great Smog is such an important reminder. It shows us how human actions can have a devastating impact on the environment and on our health.
It's like this event, even though it happened decades ago, it still has lessons for us today.
Absolutely. And there are still unanswered questions like the long-term health effects on those who survived the Great Smog.
Oh, you mean did it have lasting effects even after the smog cleared?
Exactly. There are studies going on right now looking at the potential genetic impacts, whether it increased the risk of certain diseases later in life. It shows how complex these issues are.
Wow, so even though we know what caused it, we're still learning about the Great Smog. It's kind of like a like a never-ending story.
You could say that. And it really emphasizes the importance of environmental responsibility. What we do today impacts not only us, but future generations as well.
It's a powerful reminder. And it's amazing how this event in London, all those years ago, led to such widespread change. It raised awareness about air pollution on a global scale.
Yeah, it really highlights the interconnectedness of environmental issues, and it's a testament to how a single event, as tragic as it was, can be a catalyst for positive change.
That's a great note to end on. It's like, even in the darkest of times, there's always hope for a brighter, cleaner future. And who knows, maybe by studying events like the Great Smog, we can avoid repeating the same mistakes.
I hope so. It's a story that should continue to be told and learned from.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we all have a role to play in protecting our environment.
Couldn't agree more. It's about making choices that benefit not just us, but generations to come.
Well said. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the Great Smog of London.
A truly fascinating, albeit somber, chapter in history.